Yeah, it's hard to wrap your mind around this, but many kids went back to school already, and the rest are going within the next couple of weeks. Back to school time.
Yep, and we're all in that back to school mode.
Yeah.
A big question for many parents: what age is it appropriate to have a child stay home alone?
Yes, good question.
After school.
So we need some professional help here.
We do.
People have said that about me for a long time. Psychiatrist Dr. Anna Shier is here. Hey, thanks a lot for coming.
Oh,
with
my
us today.
pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So, what do you think? What factors should you consider?
There's no clear-cut age, and for that matter, there isn't really any specific. Some states have laws, but most states don't. Arizona doesn't have a particular law that you have to be a certain age. And I think it just recognizes that there's so many different levels of maturity. You can have an 8-year-old who is more mature than your 14-year-old. And it's really figuring out that maturity level, which is a challenge for parents.
So as far as figuring out that maturity level, what are some of the things we should look for that would help make that decision for us to decide whether to leave them home or not?
Great question. So one of the most difficult things is figuring out, is your child already doing these routines on their own? So there's things that every parent wants to know that their kid's doing. When you come home, are you locking the door? Are you going to the Doritos, or are you having a healthy snack? So if your kid is already adhering to a pretty healthy routine and a safe routine, you'll be a lot more comfortable knowing that once you're not home, they've already got that routine in place and they'll continue with it.
Okay.
Is there anything a parent can do to prepare their child for being home alone? Special tools you might use, or procedures, checklists, anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I think there's kind of two approaches. One, what the parents should be doing, like creating lists. So you have their phone number, the pediatrician's phone number, neighbor's phone number, poison control. Every number that you can think of should be posted, as well as 911. Because when you're anxious and there's an emergency going on, sometimes even remembering 911 could be a challenge. And then preparing the house itself. So, maybe hide the alcohol or lighters, or, if you have guns, make sure the guns are hidden away. Yes. So prepare the house, and then prepare your child. Because a lot of kids will know, they'll be able to tell their parents, I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel like I'm ready. And then you can figure out what it is that they're worried about, and you can kind of shore up whatever weaknesses they feel that they have.
Okay, to help better prepare them. Now, what if you have 2 kids, or 3 kids for that matter, and one older one and some younger ones? How do you determine if that's okay to leave the older one alone with the younger ones in charge of them?
That's tricky, but I think a lot of times parents have a good idea of how good their kid's judgment is. So if there have been times in the past where there's been an emergency that's arisen, how has the older child taken care of the younger kids, or what have they done? Have they had a good head on their shoulders, or will they need to be taught, you need to be doing this. This is when you would call 911. This is when you call the neighbors. This is when you would call me. It varies from kid to kid.
Sometimes there's like a family member or a neighbor that may live close by that you could trust, and they could call on in case they need anything, right?
Yes, that's key.
Yeah.
Especially if you work far away from home. But just so that the kid knows, okay, if this neighbor doesn't answer, then I'll reach out to this neighbor. And that the neighbor themselves know, okay, I'm part of a network of keeping the kids in the community safe. And a lot of neighbors are more than willing to do that.
I know we have to wrap, or we're getting close to wrapping. In your practice, is there like an age, though? I know you say you can't pinpoint an age, but like kind of a general age where you start to see parents letting their kids stay home? I have young kids, so right now it's a total, like I couldn't even picture leaving my kids alone.
Me neither. I would never leave my 3-year-old alone.
And right now I don't even know if they're going to be 15 and I'll let them stay at home alone. But I mean, is there an age that you kind of see?
So typically they say around 11 or 12.
Okay.
And that's during the day. And of course you want to do some trial runs, maybe a 30 to 60 minute outing where you just
go to the grocery store,
idea.
maybe.
Right, yeah. So to see how they take it. But around that age is the time to start doing some trial runs. And if they do well, then you can proceed onto a full afternoon, and probably a couple years after that before you would think about leaving them home.
And if you're like me and you have video monitoring,
there we go. That you can look at your phone and check. That's good.
Now, you are a psychiatrist?
Yes.
And where do you practice, and tell us about your practice?
In the Kierland area. So, and I see kids and I see adults, and then my husband's an addiction medicine psychiatrist and doctor. And then we have a couple of therapists. So we see the whole family.
So you do the whole thing.
Wow.
Like
one-stop shop.
I love that. All right, well, we'll make sure we get your information up, so if people need to contact you, they can.
Dr. Anna Shier.
Thank you.
Thank you.